It's a overcast May day, May 2nd, 2022. Got a little bit of an update for you for the 86 Crown Vic Coupe. Recently did a little bit of work to it. Recently ate transmission number 3, is on number 4 now. A little something special on this transmission. It is now equipped with a fully electronic 4R70W, and in order to accomplish that, I didn't go the same route that I went with Vicky. She got an OBD1 setup out of a 94 Lincoln Town Car. This one a little bit more grandiose, a little bit different. This is actually running OBD2. As you can see, we got ignition coil on plugs, both sides. It's a little bit more clustered over here, but yeah, individual coils for each cylinder. No giant coil packs in the front on this one. So yeah, the base harness is off of a 2000 Mercury Grand Marquis. The engine harness itself, that's running the injectors, most of the main sensors for the ECU, are the original for the 1986. It's just spliced into the main connection harness under the brake booster for the 2000 Grand Marquis. In addition to that, we have a few modifications to the AC system. Just this switch. It's a high pressure cutout switch. I managed to find a adapter that threaded onto the factory high pressure line and gave me a R134A high pressure output and a M10 switch port, which is what this uses. So the AC system is completely functional and operational. The cooling fans are completely controlled by the ECM. This relay box here is a little redundant. I might repurpose it and get rid of the factory style horn relay. Yeah, you can see some of the wiring down there. I do plan on cleaning that up when I change the master cylinder and brake booster for the anti-lock brake variant. The booster that's in there now currently has a vacuum leak when you press the pedal so far down. It's actually an audible hissing that you can hear, a constant hissing. So yeah, it's got a crank sensor off an Explorer, custom modified 28 ounce imbalance harmonic balancer with an Explorer tone ring pressed on. Cylinder head temperature sensor is threaded directly into the driver's side cylinder head, almost like it would be on the 4.6. I had to get a little creative as the threads are metric on that. So what I ended up doing was I ground down the threads with an industrial grinder and retapped it for I want to say it's either 7/16 coarse thread or 3/8 coarse thread, and it allowed me to thread the sensor all the way into the cylinder head, because this sensor doesn't get in contact with coolant. It is just measuring the temperature of the metal on the cylinder head. So yeah, I did keep the original ECT in place, and it is wired into the ECU harness, but it is currently not running off of that. It is running off of that sensor, which is actually putting out accurate temperature readings, which I was very surprised at. The ECM is out of a 2000 or 2001 or 2002 Crown Victoria Police Interceptor, P71. Oddly enough, the engine did run on the factory programming. Not ideally, but it was a turnkey, and it ran and drove and shifted, so I was able to bring it home from work. The car has been sitting at work for a while, and it ran decently enough that on the wrong injectors, wrong engine, wrong mass airflow sensor curve, that I was able to bring it home. But I'm sure you guys are wanting to hear it run, so let me fire it up. I have to go out, so like I said, it's running all okay. Oh, ignition is on. There we go. Let's go. There we go. So yeah, I got it's all running off of the OBD2. Put the port down here. It's the easiest place where it would be mounted, and wouldn't be in the way of anything. The orange wire there is for the aux input mod that Gadget 73 did for this radio, and an added bonus to the OBD2 swap is this has a communication bus between the ECM and this EATC unit, so it actually has a coolant temperature sensor reference now, so it works even better than it did by itself. It worked by itself, but like if you turn the car off and then you turned it on and you wanted heat immediately, the auto feature wouldn't turn the fan on high until like a few minutes, like a fail-safe, I guess. It assumed that every time the ignition was switched that it was not warmed up, but now that it has a proper signal, it'll turn on the blower at a more ideal time. But yeah, temperature, or the ECT, and then the top one is the air intake off the mass airflow sensor. 64 degrees. That's bouncing between 64 and 62, so that's accurate. This is just a little under 150 degrees. That's 140, so that's pretty good. Once it warms up, you know, it normally stays around 190, 188 if you're driving. I haven't really driven it on any hot days yet because we haven't had many, but it seems to regulate the temperature pretty well. The only thing that I'm having a problem with is the once in a while I'll get an error for a ignition cylinder coil primary secondary circuit fault, and it only seems to come on cylinder number 1 and cylinder number 6. Now, it has all new coils on it. I rotated the coils to see if the issue would follow the coils. It does not. So I also changed the plugs for good measure, as you know, as you do. But it doesn't seem to have changed anything. So I guess I'll be tracking that down till I can figure out what's going on with that. It could be a harness issue. I did try another ECM since I had one laying around. No change in how it was acting, and it's completely intermittent. Like it'll be fine 1 second, and then I'll be driving, and it'll be like a complete misfire. The ECM will actually turn off the injector of the offending cylinder, so it's not pouring raw fuel into the cat and getting that all overheated. So I don't know, but when it is running on all 8, it's quite intimidating. It's a lot of fun to drive. The transmission shift strategy was completely customly made by Adam at Pops Racing. He did a very, very good job at getting this thing to run very well and to shift amazingly. Big thanks to him. Big thanks to Phil, Brown Muscle, for fabricating these brackets. I really appreciate it. He took a lot of time and effort to make those. I do intend on taking them off and getting them powder coated, but I wanted everything to be operating before I decided to take it all apart. If I can muster up the effort, because I just got out of the hospital last week with appendicitis, so I'm still feeling up from that. I might just pull them off and run them over to a powder coating place and get a couple other things powder coated. I have an extra crank pulley and water pump pulley. I might get those powder coated as well. I do intend on having all the brackets redone, because my paint job did not hold up as well as I had hoped. Also, something that I found out, even with the spacer on the lower AC bracket, your highest RPM that you can go before it throws the belt off and heats itself is about $6,000. So you kind of got to keep it under $6,000. So yeah, that's a lot of fun. I've had to replace 2 belts since the engine was the engine ECU harness and all that was running right and installed. So that's good. I'm gonna see if I can't find a automatic tensioner. Maybe that's the answer to keeping proper tension on there. Or maybe just an idler and run a proper length belt. Something that'll maybe keep it from throwing the belt off, because it's kind of annoying. And the last time I kind of ate at the AC clutch connector. Thankfully it still works, so I don't have to replace that. But you know, there's a lot of stuff bouncing around down there. There's like I said, the crankshaft sensor. I don't want that to get all messed up from a belt getting all thrown off and broken. So we'll have to be careful until I can find a permanent solution to high RPMs. But other than that, she's all good to go. Anyway, guys, it's been a long time coming to update you guys. So this is what I've got for you. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye bye.